Welcome back to the channel. Today we're being an exterminator and we're getting our Mazdaspeed clear and free of spiders so that way I can actually work on it. Because if you know me, I'm terrified of spiders. We're good. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be ripping the motor out of our Mazdaspeed3. I've already gone ahead and taken a coolant bath, trying to get the radiator drained. We did get the motor fully assembled, ready to go, showed off all of our parts that we're going to be putting on this car. Now it's time to get the motor out so we can actually complete this project, get it going. We're going to start by removing the front clip, getting the motor mounts disconnected, yanking it out. Kind of going to do a time lapse every now and then. You know, we'll talk a little bit about it, but for the most part, it's time to tear down an engine. All right, you guys, so as you can see, we have our Gen 1 engine out. We have already gone through, stripped it down. We're getting ready to figure out which parts we are gonna be transferring over compared to which parts are gonna be thrown away because they're just no good to us. We have new ones here for it. I'm gonna have Alex over here go ahead and tear down that motor. We're gonna get it to the machine shop so we can get a few other builds going. Should be a good time, but as you can see, we like to make messes around here, so we're gonna continue to do that, start transferring over all the new parts onto this new engine, and it's gonna be some time to make some jam. So for this build, we are running the NGK 6510 Iridium spark plugs. We have these gapped to 0.024. This is gonna be what we've known to work really well for the type of power that we're planning on pushing. If you are gonna be purchasing these plugs for your factory to modified vehicle, make sure you're checking with your tuner to make sure that you are getting the proper recommended gap size for your estimated horsepower that you're going to be running. We're going to go ahead and install these into the motor. That is kind of the last step before we get everything else on and going in here. I'm just getting these threaded for us, and then we'll ooga-dooga them to spark plug heaven. NGK has been a stellar spark plug. We've been using these since 2012, back with our old Mazdaspeed 6 build. Denso is also a really popular option. It's not an option that we run anymore because we have seen that the NGKs just overall last longer, run better, and ignite better. So that is going to be our recommendation. If you are looking to buy spark plugs, you can order these pre-gapped from us on our website, or you can give us a call and we can try and help run you down on what's going to be the best plug gap for you to run for your setup. So as you can see, we have installed our Graveyard Performance tubular manifold. Like we said earlier in our last video, we are revising this right now. This is going to be the first unit that we are testing to make sure that everything is working how we want it to work with ease of install. We still have the same great flow properties. This is an equal length manifold. Almost every single runner is within 1/8 of an inch of each other. So very equal flow. We will probably be releasing an unequal manifold as well to kind of keep that stock factory rumble that you get from a Mazdaspeed. These are going to have a little bit of a different tone on them. So if you're running a catted down pipe with a resonator, they will still sound good. Catless, it's going to change the tone quite a bit. So our next step is to get everything transferred over. We have our injectors torqued all down. We need to get the fuel rail on, get a new pressure relief valve on, and then from there, we're going to go ahead and get our JMF on. So let the party continue. So we're finally at the point where it's time to put this engine into our MAZDASPEED3. We've gotten almost everything dressed up on this. We decided to leave the manifold off as we know there's probably going to be some trimming that we need to do for the power steering pump. But we do have our injectors in, PCV plate on. We want to get all of our catch cans, everything like that, ran prior to putting this into the car, so that way we can have the easiest access to do so. So we're going to get this into the car now, get the motor mounts on, get it ready to go, and then hopefully we can get it to fabrication. All right, you guys, so we finally have our Mazdaspeed engine back in. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick rundown on what components we've used inside of this long block. For the pistons, we have the Manley 2618 Extreme Duty pistons. Rods, we're running the H-Tough H-beams from Manley as well. We're running King bearings on both the rod and mains, ARP main bolts, ARP L19 head studs, Kelford cams, and 83-pound SuperTech springs and retainers. And that's kind of the main gist of it. We do still use an OEM head gasket on our cars. This one does have a copper coating on it, just so that way we can make sure we're getting a really good sealing surface. If we do have any issues when we go, higher power later on down the road, we'll likely end up doing an O-ring on it as well. But for now, we've decided to hold off on that. As you can see, we've gotten everything dressed onto the motor aside from the intake manifold, because we're wanting to get our catch cans mounted where they're supposed to go, where they're going to be, run all of our vacuum lines from the PCV plate, and then from there we'll also go through and we'll run the vacuum lines from the manifold over to our boost reference, boost source. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We need to get the car finished up, get it all together, get the starter on, front clip back on, and then this baby's going to fab work. So make sure you guys tune into our next episode. That's going to be us getting this car to fab, as well as doing some of the suspension components, chassis bracing, etc. Shout out to JMFabrications for the high quality pillow.